Food kept vanishing from our kitchen, and my brother was acting super strange. The truth behind his behavior left me speechless. Hey everyone, and welcome back to 10 by 10 Confidential. I'm so grateful you're here watching my videos and being part of this amazing community. Before we dive into today's incredible story, please smash that like button if you're ready for another mind-blowing tale. Don't forget to subscribe. Today's story is one that completely changed how I think about the people closest to us, and I have a feeling it's going to stay with you long after you finish watching. So, let's get right into it. I always thought my older brother was just the weird kid in our family. You know how it is. Every family has one. But what I found out about him changed everything I thought I knew. My brother was 3 years older than me. We lived in a regular house on a quiet street with our mom and dad. Nothing fancy, but we had what we needed. My brother had his own room upstairs, and I had mine down the hall. For months, I noticed strange things. Food would go missing from our kitchen. Not junk food like chips or cookies. That would make sense, but real food. Sandwiches, apples, granola bars. The stuff Mom packed for our school lunches. I'd hear him talking in his room late at night. Not on the phone. This was before we had cell phones. Just talking quietly to someone. When I'd put my ear to the wall, I could never make out the words. He started carrying his backpack everywhere, even to the bathroom. Even when we were just hanging out watching TV, if anyone got near it, he'd grab it and hold it tight against his chest. My parents thought he was going through a phase. Just teenage stuff, Dad would say. Mom worried he was getting into trouble at school. They had no idea what was really happening. The day I found out the truth was a Tuesday in October. I remember because the leaves were turning orange and yellow, and it was getting cold in the mornings. I was walking home from school when I saw my brother ahead of me. Instead of turning toward our street, he kept walking straight. This was weird because he always came straight home. Mom had a rule about that. I followed him, staying far back so he wouldn't see me. He walked for about 10 minutes to the old part of town where there were some empty buildings and a small park nobody used anymore. He stopped at a beat-up blue car parked behind some trees. The car looked like it hadn't moved in weeks. The windows were dirty and one of the tires looked flat. My brother knocked on the back window. After a few seconds, the door opened and another kid got out. I recognized him from school. He was in my brother's grade, but I didn't know his name. He was always quiet and kept to himself. That's when I saw my brother open his backpack. He pulled out sandwiches, fruit, and bottles of water. He handed them to the other kid, who took them quickly and said something I couldn't hear. They talked for a few minutes, then my brother gave him some clothes. A clean t-shirt and a jacket that looked like one of my brother's old ones. The other kid looked around nervously like he was scared someone might see them. Then he got back in the car and my brother started walking home. I was so confused. Why was my brother giving food and clothes to this kid? Why was the kid living in a car? I had so many questions, but I knew I couldn't just ask my brother. He'd been keeping this secret for months. I waited a few days, watching and thinking. I noticed more things now that I knew what to look for. My brother would make extra sandwiches and slip them into his backpack when Mom wasn't looking. He'd take clothes from his room and stuff them in there too. One day, I saw the kid at school. He was sitting alone at lunch, not eating anything. His clothes looked too big for him and his hair needed cutting. He kept his head down and didn't talk to anyone. That's when it hit me. This kid didn't have lunch money, he probably didn't have much of anything, and my brother was trying to help him. I felt terrible. While I'd been thinking my brother was weird, he was actually being the kindest person I knew. That night, I waited until our parents were watching TV downstairs. Then I knocked on my brother's door. "We need to talk," I said. He looked scared when he saw me. "About what?" "About your friend who lives in the blue car." His face went white. He sat down on his bed and put his head in his hands. "Please don't tell Mom and Dad," he said. "You don't understand." "Then help me understand." He was quiet for a long time. Then he told me everything. The kid's name was Jake. His family had been living in their car for 2 months. His dad lost his job and they couldn't pay rent anymore. His mom was trying to find work, but it was hard. They were too embarrassed to ask for help. Jake was trying to keep going to school like everything was normal. He hadn't told any of his teachers or friends what was happening. My brother found out by accident. He saw Jake washing his face with water from a gas station bathroom one morning before school. When he asked Jake what was wrong, Jake broke down and told him the truth. "I couldn't just do nothing," my brother said. "He's hungry all the time. His clothes are dirty because they can't do laundry. Why didn't you tell Mom and Dad? They would want to help." My brother shook his head. "Jake made me promise not to tell any adults. He's scared they'll call social services. He doesn't want to be separated from his family." I understood why my brother was torn. He wanted to help his friend, but he also wanted to keep his promise. We talked for over an hour that night. I told him I thought he was doing something really good, but that Jake needed more help than we could give him. "What if we talked to Mom and Dad together?" I asked. "We could explain everything. They're not going to call anyone without talking to Jake first." My brother wasn't sure, but he could see that giving Jake a few sandwiches wasn't solving the real problem. The next day after school, we sat our parents down and told them everything. Mom started crying when she heard about Jake's family. Dad got quiet and serious. "This boy and his family need real help," Dad said. "Food and clothes are good, but they need a safe place to stay." Mom was already thinking about solutions. She worked at the church downtown, and she knew about programs that helped families who lost their homes. "We need to talk to Jake and his parents," she said, "but we'll do it carefully. We're not going to make things worse for them." It took some convincing, but Jake finally agreed to let my brother bring our mom to meet his parents. They were embarrassed and scared, but they were also desperate. My mom didn't judge them or make them feel bad. She just listened and then told them about resources they didn't know existed. There were programs that could help them find temporary housing, job training, and food assistance. It wasn't magic. Things didn't get fixed overnight. But within a few weeks, Jake's family found a small apartment they could afford. His dad got a job at a warehouse, and his mom started working part-time at a store. Jake stayed friends with my brother all through high school. He never forgot what my brother did for him when things were really bad. Looking back now, I realized that was the moment I really understood who my brother was. He wasn't weird or antisocial. He was someone who saw when others were hurting and did something about it. He taught me that sometimes the right thing to do isn't easy or obvious. Sometimes you have to give up your own comfort to help someone else. And sometimes the people who seem different from us are actually the ones with the biggest hearts. I'm proud to be his sister, and I try every day to be the kind of person who would notice when someone needs help, just like he did. And that's the incredible story of how I discovered my brother's beautiful secret. Thank you so much for watching and being part of the 10 by 10 Confidential family. If this story touched your heart the way it touched mine, please smash that like button and subscribe for more amazing true stories. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads.